Good morning, West Texas. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jay Plyburn.
And I'm Trent Magill.
It is Monday, October 18th, only a couple of weeks from Halloween. I know Trent's got his costume ready. I don't even have to ask. He's going to be Batman again this year. And but I don't know what I'm going to be.
I have no idea what I'm going to be this year.
No idea?
I have no idea. I don't know. It's on a Sunday. When do you trick? Do you trick or treat Sunday night? Do the kids go out on Saturday night or Friday?
I don't know how the trick or treating exactly works.
Do you go out on a school night on a Sunday night? Is that
Saturday?
You do it on Saturday?
He's still on a Saturday.
Does everybody know that?
Doesn't matter. People are going to give out candy and get candy all week long.
Well, they got to have, I guess, all week long. Really?
Well, yeah. There's places. We got stories coming up in the next half hour of news about good stuff like that going on. But it's time to talk about the weather for a minute, and it is quite lovely out there this morning.
Very comfortable, almost amazing. I mean,
we won't survive in the suits all day long, though. You
definitely not. Definitely not. It's going to get just downright near record level heat today. I mean, not quite record level, but close to it. Upper 80s, near 90 degrees, definitely possible this afternoon. Let's get to it. Time for weather news. Looking outside right now, we're at 58 degrees, 72% humidity. Calm winds, not a whole lot going on outside this morning, but as we go throughout the day, it'll get kind of gusty, especially overnight tonight. Pretty comfortable sunrise. We'll drop to near 54 by around sunrise, if not a little bit afterwards, but 79 though for your temperatures by around lunchtime. So even warmer than it was yesterday, and it was downright, very warm yesterday. Today, the only saving grace is we'll see a few clouds later on. Otherwise, we would, hit the records. The record is 91 degrees for today. 89, maybe 90 degrees, not out of the question. Anyway, if you're getting up this morning, going to school, and you're riding the bus, here's your little bus stop forecast. 56 degrees on your way to school, 88 on your way home. Got your full forecast coming up, and it's got rain in it. I'll tell you all about it coming up. Jay?
All right, thank you, Trent. Well, at 6:03, here's a couple of the stories making headlines this morning. With only 2 weeks left of campaigning before the volatile midterm elections, some of America's biggest names hit the campaign trail and the fundraising circuit today. The President and Mrs. Obama, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, and Sarah Palin, in a display of just how much Democrats want to staunch their losses. Last night, both Obamas were in Ohio, the first time they've campaigned together since 2008. ABC's Emily Schmidt has our election report.
With control of Congress up for grabs in Washington, the political push is well outside the Beltway.
Hello, Ohio!
First Lady Michelle Obama made her first campaign appearance with the president since 2008. Polls show she is more popular than her husband. He's working to convince voters to stick with Democrats through tough economic times he says began under Republican leadership.
It is up to you to tell them we do not want what they are selling. We've been there before, and we are not going back.
In the next 2 weeks before the election, both Obamas will campaign separately across the country, including trips to Washington, where Senator Patty Murray is fighting to hold on to her seat.
I voted to put in place strong Wall Street reform to protect you. Mr. Rossi's going to repeal that.
Which Washington are you representing? Washington, D.C. or Washington State?
Bill Clinton is also planning a Washington State trip. He's made 83 campaign stops this election season, trying to fire up all Democrats. But Republicans are already energized and ready to fight. Senator John McCain, campaigning for Republican Carly Fiorina in California, made the unusual move of harshly criticizing a colleague from across the aisle.
Barbara Boxer is the most bitterly partisan, most anti-defense senator in the United States Senate today.
President Obama has 4 more rallies scheduled before Election Day, all in states he won in 2008, where Democrats face much tighter races today. Emily Schmidt, ABC News, Washington.
All right, at 6:05, let's get your financial news with your Bloomberg Business Report.
Good morning. Planting your crops and feeding your cows on Facebook may be exposing you to advertisers and internet tracking firms. Wall Street Journal says Facebook's top 10 apps, including Zynga's Farm Bill, transmit users' Facebook ID numbers, which can be used to obtain information on users. Now, Facebook says it's planning to introduce new systems to dramatically limit the sharing of user IDs. Well, meanwhile, female voters are worrying more about the economy. A Bloomberg national poll shows women who have weathered the recession better than men in terms of job Wildcats are more concerned about unemployment than their male counterparts. And in a sign of the times, first-class cabins have lost their appeal. USA Today says a small but growing list of airlines are eliminating rows in the most expensive part of their planes as customers increasingly look for cheaper seats. Well, sales of Tea Party goods are on the rise, and banks are in the hot seat this week. More on that after this.
The Bloomberg Business Report is brought to you by the Equus from Hyundai.
Most car commercials tell you what to think. In this one, people told us what they think about Hyundai, uncensored.
Nice.
Hey.
I like this one a lot.
It passed my test. I want this car. What kind of car?
Hyundai. Hyundai, like Sunday.
That's right, Hyundai like Sunday.
You got it. Now get one, like the 2010 Genesis. It comes with Hyundai Assurance, including America's best warranty. And now, for a limited time, you can lease the 2010 Genesis for just $399 a month at your local Hyundai dealer.
Well, investors get quarterly results from IBM and Apple later today, and they'll also focus on Citigroup's results, looking at what the bank is saying about the cost of flawed paperwork and other foreclosure-related problems. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and PNC Financial also report this week. Now, bank stocks weighing on the Dow Friday. Still, we had a second weekly gain for the S&P. And with the midterm November elections approaching, sales of Tea Party-related goods, whether it be for supporters or naysayers, have quadrupled in just the past 6 months. That's according to CafePress.com, which is considered a barometer on public opinion and pop culture. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King with the Bloomberg Business Report.
Well, 2 people have been arrested after being linked to a September burglary in Ector County. Avelino Perez and Alexis Gonzalez were picked up Thursday, accused of breaking into a home on West Ada. Police say a 14-year-old who had been living at the home for a few days told them what was inside the home and left the window unlocked. Police say Perez went back inside the house with the girl and stole a gun, a television, and more. Police believe Gonzalez actually came up with the idea in the first place. Now both Perez and Gonzalez are in the Ector County Detention Center. And an Odessa woman is also behind bars after police say she was caught with cocaine. Keisha Watkins lived in the High Plains Apartments. Police served a search warrant at her place and say they found more than 7 grams of coke. That's when she was arrested. She now faces drug charges and is being held in the Ector County Detention Center. Well, a jury is being picked to try 2 men accused of a series of home break-ins. Cortez Black and Marquis Black are both charged with robbery. Midland police say they robbed 2 places in Midland over the summer. A third suspect, Thomas McCullough, turned on the other 2 men and pleaded guilty. Police say the men stole cash and drugs from the places they robbed. The case isn't slated to happen until October 25th. Well, Midland police have found the woman they were looking for after a deadly street sweeper accident. Originally, police said that Tony Lopez was driving a stolen Suburban as it fled from a hotel robbery. She was found Thursday night and interviewed. Then she was released, but is still considered a person of interest in this case. Police say the crooks robbed the Midtown Hotel and were speeding away when they crashed into a street sweeper at Illinois and Powell. Ronnie Lee Randolph fell off the sweeper and was crushed. The driver of the sweeper was sent to the hospital. Rashad Bell and Sabrina Kulinowski, who police say were in the Suburban, were also hospitalized with serious injuries. On a lighter note now, a rodeo took place in Midland County this weekend. Nothing too unusual about that, except this was not a typical rodeo. It was the first ever Riding by Faith rodeo. There was mutton busting for the kids, barrels, tie down, team roping, breakaway, and of course a bull ride. And it might surprise you how this all got started.
We have a beautiful facility, a beautiful arena that has just been sitting here growing weeds, not doing much good, so we decided to get it running.
The facility she's referring to is Faith Country, which is located between Midland and Stanton. They were excited to have the rodeo this weekend and hope to make it an annual event. Well, the White Pool House in Odessa was originally built in 1887, but was restored in 1979, then opened as a museum in 1985. This weekend, the 7th annual Hot Diggity Hog Fest was held at the museum to make people aware of it and to help raise money to keep it open. The festival, which was open to the public, involved a bake sale, live banjo music, square dancing, a silent auction, tons of good food, even an antique car display. Those involved said it's important to keep the museum open because it helps us educate the younger generation.
Our children today don't know how people lived back then, so to me it's very important as an educational tool, and then the people who lived through some of these eras love to come and see it and relive their life.
The museum is proud to be listed on the National Register of Historic Places, the Texas Register of Historic Places, and as a Texas archaeological site. Well, we're getting closer and closer to Halloween, and many people have already put on their costumes. This weekend, it was children that were dressed up as part of the 3rd annual Fall Festival. This event took place Saturday afternoon at the Midland County Public Library.
We have the kids coming, and for the first time, maybe some of them have never been here, and they can come trick-or-treat and play games and hopefully get books.
The Fall Fest also involved face painting, crafts, prizes, food, and Harlan the Balloon Man. Well, it was all about the women this weekend in Midland. In fact, that's exactly what the event was called. It was the first ever All About Women Expo, an event which included seminars, workshops, exhibits, and demonstrations on all things of interest to women. The expo focused on products and services of value to women of all ages, and those in attendance had plenty of items to check out.
We have everything: furniture, home decor, parties, jewelry, clothing, shoes, health products, some of the gyms, a little bit of everything.
More than 50 exhibitors displayed their products during the expo, which took place Saturday and Sunday. Well, Keep Midland Beautiful educates and engages Midlanders in litter prevention, waste management, and beautification. They were at it again this weekend, picking up the trash as part of the annual fall cleanup. If you missed the event Saturday but would like to get involved, check out their website at keepmidlandbeautiful.org. And it was a great weekend to be out picking up trash. As Trent Magill tell us, it was really nice conditions out there this weekend, and we're hopefully going to see the nice conditions again this week.
Well, it was definitely warm, but not too warm.